On this Make It Once video, I mess with the brakes. Be scared! So I'm the rear right of the car. I've taken off the tire and I'm working on the brakes. I just took off the brake caliper. If you take a look at the brake line, you'll notice nothing's dripping out of it. That confirms what I thought, which is that the rubber hoses are rotten. They're in front of the axle in the center here. In the front, they're actually right by the tire, so they're a little bit easier to get to. So those will be need to be swapped out to get brake fluid pressure. At the reservoir and at the pedal, I can create pressure, so they're just not making it back here. So that tells me that it's the hoses. The other thing, I took off the brake caliper off. Two things: they're seized, and if you look at this, the rubber seal is just crumbling, so they've been sitting there and just dried out. So hopefully it's just the rubber in there that's sealed and the pistons are okay. I'll have to take that apart. The other thing I'd need to do is measure whether it's the 36 millimeter pistons or the 38. There was two different sizes. They switched over in '69, so it's not a straight guess. The 38s were bigger and a little bit different. They were used all the way to the 240 series. So once I figured out which size I have, I'll build an overhaul kit. It was holding some brake fluid, so that's a good sign. Hopefully it didn't gather too much moisture. Otherwise it might be rusted, and this might be a bigger job than I thought. But anyway, so that's the next thing I gotta do. Quick tip on these old brake lines: they're usually stuck, and this brass fitting will strip out pretty easily, so don't wrench on it. A lot of people will tell you, oh, put a blowtorch to it, but actually that's the wrong physics. You don't want it to expand, and you don't want to blowtorch your caliper threads. What you want to do is freeze the fitting because it's small and it'll shrink. So the trick is get a can of compressed air, flip it upside down, you get the nozzle right onto the fitting and then release some of the refrigerant, and it'll freeze it instantly. It gets it way below freezing temperature. It shrinks the metal, and then get a wrench on it real quick, and it'll pop free. I've done it 3 or 4 times and it works every time. It saves the hassle of accidentally twisting the brake line and breaking it, or stripping the threads. I've done that and had to repair it, and that was not good. So that's your tip.